Many thanks for staying with us. At least 5 persons died yesterday following gunfire at different local government council secretariats in Rivers State. Some of the newly appointed chairmen of the LGAs were also chased out of their offices by thugs. The President of the Federation, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, instructed law enforcement agencies to bring the situation under control, emphasizing the need to ensure the security of public institutions. Now, this follows the highly controversial local government elections recently held in Rivers State. Now, joining me to discuss this is Sogbeye Eli, is a former chairman, Degema Local Government Area of Rivers State. He joins virtually. Thank you for your time, Mr. Eli. Let me start by asking your take on the outcome of Saturday's polls, local government polls. I know that you were a former local government chairman yourself, and I mean, looking at the process from your experience, you know, at your time in office and what you saw on Saturday, how would you rate it?
I wasn't just a former chairman. I had worked at the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission for 6 years before I resigned to join politics. I was there from March 2004 to October, November 2010. I conducted 2 local government council elections as electoral officer in the Noma local government area. Matter of fact, the election that brought us on wicket office with second term in 2004, we conducted elections. My colleague was in charge of Noma of Obiakpo while I was in Noma. So I have cognizant experience in terms of the conduct of elections by the electoral commissions based under the constitution. Besides my own personal experience in 2015. So not much difference. It's the same ground rules. The State Electoral Commission works with the law enacted by the House of Assembly of Rivers State, which of course have been amended a couple of times to accommodate new realities. But nothing much has changed, including the one that we used to bring Wike to power in 2004. But ironically, when he came in as governor in 2015, he removed us using the Federal High Court as a jurisdiction and local government matters, local government election matters in particular. And we've been in court for 9 years now. He had suppressed justice by all means, including the roofing that Court of Appeal in Port Harcourt. He did a lot of things to frustrate appeal. And when I see people react the way they do to what has happened in the University on Saturday, I just laugh. Somebody has set a precedent, and for what I've seen, he ambushed the election in 2015, is ambushing this one now. In between, he conducted 2 elections as governor in 2018 and 2021. Nobody went to court to stop him. Well, under Nigerian law, you can't stop an election. It's a process. But it has to be Wike's call to disrupt the peace. He did it to us in 2015. He's doing it to his successor now. But he also have absolute control of the grassroots.
I mean, you sound like you don't seem surprised at what is even currently happening, you know, particularly yesterday in the state, after, of course, the new chairman was sworn in. We know that some of the secretariats, you know, were invaded by thugs and set ablaze. Some of those chairmen that, you know, the newly elected chairmen were not even allowed to, you know, resume work. And I mean, to you, you seem like this, of course, isn't a surprise. Why is that?
Why should I be surprised? I mentioned that the key actor here is the Minister for FCT. We conducted his own election in 2004 by RISEC. His first election was on October 5, 1998, which was conducted by INEC, ahead of rest political parties. But in 2004, RISEC conducted his elections. I was in charge of Oma local government. Somebody was in charge of Obiakpo, where he comes from. Electoral desegregation did not get to this point. When they got to 2015, he changed the rules. He moved us unlawfully. We are still in court fighting to defend that issue. Now, he's out of office. He conducted 2 elections in 2018 and 2021. Nobody took him to court. Now he's back fighting against the man he brought office. So what you saw in terms of resistance to people who are going to take over lawfully, with all those actions that I saw yesterday, it's again the UK factor. I say so responsibly. Because see, I blame the Supreme Court for all this. In 2015, Supreme Court sanctioned an election that was extremely violent. And that has been a precedent. So everybody now thinks that it must be by violence that you take part in Rivers State. That's what happens. So when these people are not winning, they use violence. And nobody takes responsibility for this. Again, he's doing this because he may want to ask, what was the desperation about a PDP minister, a PDP man joining the APC government? To do what exactly? Do you have the same ideology? So what was the intention of Wike to join an APC government? The same APC was a cancer, a stage 4 cancer for that matter. So you want the federal government shelter so you can oppress the state like he did in 2015 under President Jonathan? That's what they're saying here. Which election is perfect in Nigeria? I told you, about being elected in 2015, I was an electoral officer myself in RISEC. The law is conducted by a law passed by House of Assembly, which have amended a couple of times, but no particular difference. But whenever it's Wike's turn, he will go to the court and go to the federal court, of course, to join INEC. Where in the law is it said that INEC must release without register to RISEC or any state electoral commission? Why this is not happening in other states in this country? Why must it be
on the contrary, I'm sorry to interrupt your line of thought there. On the contrary, we had Honorable Lolo Isaiah on the show yesterday, and he actually did say that the current minister of the FCT, who of course was the former governor of Rivers State, in person of Nyesom Wike, shouldn't be blamed. That is in far away Abuja and has absolutely nothing with what is happening, particularly with the carnage, in the state. It went as far as even saying the current governor of the state should be held to account. So what do you have to say to that?
Well, what else would Lolo Opunde say? That was one of those boys who bought funds for House of Assembly against the provision of the law. Essentially, is a lawyer by Junior Deba, but doesn't even know when he indicts himself. Wike had openly said that he bought the forms for everybody in Rivers State in 2023. As for Assembly, everybody, as for Reps, everybody, Senate, everybody, the governor himself. And so he's the one that dictates who gets what and who gets to anywhere. So when Lolo Opunde comes out and tells you he's the governor, is the one that is culpable for this violence, ask him who went to court, who hid under APC and went to court to challenge the conduct of elections. Who? 2, did the governor bar the PDP from participating in these elections? They went to court ambushing and said it's typical Wike style. And I told them I'm speaking from the point of experience. In 2004, in 2008, to conduct the local election in Rivers State, nobody went to court. 2011, nobody went to court. In 2012, there was a standalone election for Ogbagbe Mandoni. Then there was 2015, where I participated as a candidate. Wike went to court as a minister using the PDP. In 2018, in 2021, he was governor. Nobody went to court. Now in 2021, Wike has gone to court as a minister again in Abuja. This time using the APC platform. Now, don't forget that my Lord, the Honorable Justice Sikahira Prokop, the High Court of the Rivers State, had in a judgment thrown away Wike's surrogates, Chino Kocha as chairman of the APC Cabinet Committee. So Emeka Bege is back in the saddle as elected state chairman of the APC. So what do you think is happening here? People are selecting what law to obey, what not to obey. Somebody is participating in this crisis, and we should tell him in clear language that this is the source of the issue. Now, for that man he recited, he's one of those who defected openly on the floor of the House of Assembly, and when they faced the consequences of Section 101, 109 sub 1G, they ran back. They're not denying that they defected. Is that the man who's what they take seriously? Now, he must speak to the fact that he has been protected. That's his godfather.
Okay.
So what they expect him to say?
Now, Sogbeye Eli, before I let you go, because I understand that we are pressed for time, a quick one. Before this election happened, there were court injunctions. I remember in your analysis, you kept making reference to the courts. And before this local government polls, we know that there was the Supreme Court ruling, and then the Federal High Court also, layers of court rulings as regards, the election, even to the eve of the election. Eventually it held. But right now, the results, of course, are out. The winners have been declared. They've been sworn in. But we know that the key parties are saying that, you know what, we are still going to proceed to court. I'd like you to speak around what you foresee as an eventual outcome, particularly the legality of this process that just happened over the weekend.
Now, let me say this. I want to be on record. The Rivers State High Court has superior jurisdiction over Rivers State matters, including local government councils, more than the Federal High Courts. In the new practice direction, it's so clear from CJN. When it comes to what they call geographical jurisdiction, the Rivers State High Court is better placed to educate on matters having to do with Rivers State. Now, a judge of the High Court of Rivers State, Justice IPC Igwe, had in a ruling sanctioned reset to proceed with the election. And in our law, it is settled in law, sir, that is an organ of the Constitution, a statutory organ of the Constitution, etc., is not bound by anything nothing can stop him from performing his functions. RISEC is the creation of the Constitution. It must conduct elections. So going to court and ambush RISEC is unknown to law. But the court held with it in 2015, so they're back again now. Otherwise, what's the business of going to Abuja to file an action to stop the whole of elections here in Rivers State? What's the difference? And I told you, these things have happened over time. Only in one man's time do you have the courts being dragged into elections in Rivers State. But I do not blame him and those who are standing on that side. If the Supreme Court had upheld the decision in Owindwe versus Juku in 2003 to the fact that wherever there is violence in election must be struck down, this is not happen. But here we are. The Supreme Court upheld, after decreeing that Rivers State was a theater of war before, during, after elections, upheld Wike's election. So today it has become a standard in Rivers State. They have to be violent to get office. Now, don't forget, they went to court to stop the election. So why did they wait for the courts? Why go to stop, cancel people from going in? Why they removed us? We didn't resist them. So why are you stopping this people and going as far as burning councils? If you're already in court, so allow the court to deal the matter. Why are you taking the laws in your hands? Why are you not to self-help? If you think that your hands are clean. If equity in law must come with clean hands. So those people who are attacking councils, we know them, they also know themselves. If you have wait for the court to speak, you don't take the laws in your hands. You don't do that.
All right. You said you know those that are attacking the councils.
They also know themselves. Everybody knows them. You don't know them.
All right.